Let's talk about adding or subtracting in scientific notation. We'll start with adding. And when you add in scientific notation, you have to pay attention to the 10 to whatever power is there. It's just like fractions that you need a common denominator. Here you need a common exponent to add or subtract. So since they are not the same, you have to change one of them. I always go up bigger because if you don't do that at the end, you will always have to turn it back into scientific notation, proper scientific notation, I should say. So I'm going to take this one here and I'm going to change it so it has 10 to the fourth power. So let's say I have 2.1 times 10 to the second power. I need this power to be 4. So I'm going to add 2 place values to that 10, which means I have to take away 2 place values here. So this number becomes 0.021 times 10 to the fourth power. So now it looks like this, 4.3 times 10 to the fourth power plus 0.021 times 10 to the fourth power. So now we're looking, they have the same exponent, and since they have the same exponent, we can add them. So in our answer, it's going to have times 10 to the fourth power. Just like in a common denominator, you would keep the denominator. Here, we keep the 10 to whatever power you raised it to. And then we're just going to do the math. So I'm just going to go over here on the side and do 4.3 times, plus 0.021. And notice I have to line up the decimals when I add them. I could put zeros in here. 0 plus 1 is 1. 0 plus 2 is 2. 3 plus 0 is 3. And 4. So it looks like this. So when I come over here, I get 4.321 times 10 to the fourth power. Now, sometimes it may not be in scientific notation. So again, you may need to turn it into scientific notation. So let's do this as if it was a subtraction problem. I'm going to do the same thing. I'll use a different exponent just so you can see. So we're going to make this 0. Let's see, let's make this exponent. Let's just make this exponent a 3. All right. So again, I'm looking, same thing. I'm looking at the 10 to a power, and they don't have the same power, so I have to change it. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to make it to the bigger power. So I want to make it to 10 to the fourth power. So I'm going to take 2.1, and so now I only have to go up 1. I'm adding 1 place value, which means I'm going to take away 1 place value. So this number becomes 0.21 times 10 to the fourth power. So it looks like this, 4.3 times 10 to the fourth power minus 0.21 times 10 to the fourth power. Again, now we have common exponents, so now I can subtract those numbers. So again, let me just put this over here. It's going to be times 10 to the fourth power in my answer, and I'm going to just do the subtraction. So I'm going to do 0.21, 0.21, so 4.3 minus 0.21, and I can put a 0 there. And when we subtract, we have to borrow. So we have 10 minus 1 is 9, and 2 minus 2 is 0, and then 4 minus 0 is 4, and my answer is 4.09. And that's times 10 to the fourth power. And I do not have to change it into scientific notation because when I look at this number, it is equal to or greater than 1 and less than 10. So this one, I don't need to change anything. It's in scientific notation, and that's how you would do a subtraction problem.